Hey, Dr. Diane, your libido doc here. In this video, we're going to talk about vaginal dryness and underlying signs that you should be aware of if you have vaginal dryness. So, oftentimes, vaginal dryness is just thought about as a hormonal change. So, whether you're premenopausal or postmenopausal, oftentimes people will look at this and just say, hey, you need more estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone that for sure does contribute to vaginal dryness. But it's also important to realize that for one, it's a particular type. There's 3 types of estrogen in the body, and there's a particular type of estrogen that contributes to vaginal dryness the most, and that's a lower amount of a type of estrogen called E3, also known as estriol. You can test for this type of estrogen, but one of the huge misunderstandings for people is that vaginal dryness is also a circulation problem. We need to get circulation and blood to the tissue in order to get that lubrication. So most of the time when we have a vaginal dryness issue, while there is a hormonal component to it, an even deeper root cause is circulation. So in order to improve vaginal dryness, you can do things, and always talk to your doctor, of course, but topical estriol on the vulva can work really well. Topical DHEA. DHEA is it comes from the hormones. It comes from actually cholesterol. So we take cholesterol, we make DHEA out of that, and that DHEA turns into estrogen. And so often people can use topical DHEA on their vulva, and this can often help with vaginal dryness as well. But another huge thing to do is to really improve circulation. So we do this by things like alpha tocopherols, which is a form of vitamin E, L-citrulline, but also exercise. And resistance training has been shown to be huge for helping with hormones. But you really want to do some resistance training, some cardio, and that's going to help your cardiac system. That's going to help circulation, blood flow, all of those types of things. Making sure you're eating your antioxidant foods. These are foods that are rich in things like vitamin A, beta carotene, vitamin C, right? That can help with vascular health as well. And so you want to make sure you're doing these things to really help your circulation. And of course, there's a huge link between blood sugar and vascular health and hormones and vaginal dryness. So working on your blood sugar. One of the really cool things that I love for women and men to do is to get a continuous glucose monitor. These are little devices. They have to be prescribed. They're typically worn for 14 days at a time. And they actually are a tiny, they go oftentimes into the shoulder muscles where people will put them. But they're kind of like a circular unit with a little tiny baby needle, and you'll actually puncture the skin very tiny, very slightly. Sounds intense, but it's really not that big of a deal. I've worn them, and they're great things to do whether or not you have blood sugar issues. I have 0 blood sugar issues, but one of the things that's useful for them is sometimes we can find a food or two that's really spiking our blood sugar. That can lead to, again, to cardiovascular diseases and vaginal dryness. And we want to make sure that if there's one unique food that's spiking our blood pressure, or our blood sugar, really high, sometimes it can just be how our body is processing that food. It might be something that you're not suspecting that would do, blood sugar changes. So you might be totally fine with some of the foods that we would commonly expect to do blood sugar changes, and there's something more rare and peculiar, right? So the only way we know that is to wear something like a continuous glucose monitor, where you can eat something, you can test your blood sugar right after, 2 hours later, to see how you're responding to that food in real time. So that can give you real-time data to actually learn if your blood sugar, and if there's a food perhaps that you're eating a lot that actually could be throwing your sugars off. All right, everybody. So point being, vaginal dryness is more than just hormones. So we definitely want to consider hormones, but we want to consider a lot more than just that. All right. I hope this has been helpful. Please do subscribe if it has, and I will see you in another video.